Good morning, friends. Today we shall talk about the well-known Microsoft Excel software and how it can be used for the calculations of some statistical and mathematical functions. As all of you know that today Microsoft companies all softwares, that is window based, all applications generally related to information technology, or it may be some clerical work like normal word printing that can be done in MS Word, even PowerPoint presentation that we shall see today. It is also prepared by Microsoft company. So one of the most useful application in the field of calculation and office management, or in data analysis, or in any industry, is that of MS Excel. Today is the world of information technology. Lots of data is available in the market, and every industry, even the governance in any state government or national level government, for planning purpose, they have to collect the data, and not only that, this data should be analyzed properly to come out with certain information and for the good governance of the company, or maybe the state or a country. So today, friend, we shall see what is Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel, it can be used for data handling, calculations, just like averages, variance, standard deviations. We can use it for plotting graphs of various data and charts. Not only that, for the descriptive statistics, when we analyze the data, we have to come out with certain descriptive statistics. Not only that, some of the statistical applications, just like pad t-test, chi-square test, normality test, all such sample analysis and data analysis can be done in Excel. So let us have a brief idea how to do the calculations using Microsoft Excel software. So Excel is a kind of spreadsheet. Earlier Lotus 123 and so many other computer softwares were available. Nowadays Excel is very popular among the students as well as in industry also. So people in IT with simple applications can easily handle their data. They can analyze the data accordingly. So what is Excel? Excel can be opened. How to start with Excel? So let us begin with that. Excel can be opened with the help of toolbars by clicking the Excel button or through following sequence of clicks. So we have in our window a start button, so we can click over it, where we can find all programs tab. When we click all programs tab, we can identify where is Microsoft Office entire tool. So in all program we have to click Microsoft Office, and again in Microsoft Office we have several options available, just like MS Word, MS Excel, PowerPoint presentation and so many others. So in Microsoft Office we have to click Microsoft Excel button. So upon clicking all these functions in a sequence, what we can see on our screen is the Microsoft Excel window. When you open Microsoft Excel, this screen will appear. You can see that on the screen we have square brackets. These are the spreadsheet part where you can enter the data. Let us try to understand some of the basic functions which are given, readily available library functions, and some of the important features of Excel that are very necessary for the data entry purpose as well as for data analysis purpose. So here these A, B, C, D, these are called the column numbers. As you can see in book 1 here, and these are the row numbers. So it is a kind of matrix that we study in mathematics and statistics. So columns are identified as A, B, C, D, E, and rows are identified as 1, 2, 3. And in this we have this font size also. Not only that, here we can arrange the data in particular fashion, that right alignment or left alignment, like that. In general, this is the layout of the Microsoft Excel's first open book, that is book number 1. Now we shall study some of the important features of Excel. Here you can see one very important part is that in this tab we have insert menu, page layout menu, readily available library functions that you can, means formulas that you can insert for the calculation purpose, and again data menu, under which there are several options which can be used for the data analysis, and so on. And not only that, here is a sigma, that is summation function, which is widely used by people in general. Now this is what you want Excel to look like. Okay, so as we have already seen that these are some of the important buttons, or you can say functions, which can be used for the entry of data in Excel and how to analyze it. Next is the what is Excel worksheet. So a worksheet is made up of 256 columns and 65,536 rows. Every worksheet is made up of 256 columns. So actually when we enter the data of different types, in general I can say that if we have 256 variables with me, then in every column I can insert one variable values. And not only that, these values will be, suppose I have a data of some 65,000 amount, then that data can be row wise filled under these columns. Now each column is denoted by a letter capital A, B, C, D up to Z, and the 27th column is denoted by AA, AB, AC, and so on, like that. So we have such 256 columns. Now each row is identified by number 1, 2, 3, so on serially. Now when a column and a row when they together form a rectangle, that rectangle is called a cell. So you can see that here this particular cell which is bolded in the border. So this particular cell is called this particular space is called cell. So what is the address of this particular cell? You can see that it is in the column A and in the second row. So the cell address is A2. Next we have a very important part. Suppose I have clicked, or my cursor is in A1 position. When I start Excel, generally the cursor lies in A1 position, and that address is always given in name box. So this part you can see that here is the address of the place where your cursor is at present, where is the presence of your cursor. So A1 is the address. Now below that, here is a select all button. So if we want to select the entire worksheet, then if I press this particular portion, then entire spreadsheet will be selected. Means every column, every cell will be selected for a particular application. So if I want to fill some colors, or I want to change the font size, or I want to make some kind of decimal numbers, 2-point decimal numbers or 3-digit decimal number, so I can select it by clicking here. Now you can say that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This denotes the row number, that is row heading. Every row is identified by its number. This is active cell at present. Then comes that this particular arrow indicates the movement of the active cell. If you want to see a particular portion of Excel sheet, because we have in general 256 columns and 65 more than 65,000 rows, so if you want to move across this cell value, you can move by clicking over this particular icon. So that is, if you want to move on left side, you can click here. If you want to move right side, you can click here, and these are the extreme points. If you want to jump to the first or the last column, you can click here. Now these below these three, sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, you can see that generally when we start Excel, we have in the beginning at least 3 sheets available with us. So these are the sheet numbers, and every sheet consists of these features. Now you can enter data in one sheet, some data can be entered in sheet 2, and further the sum of the numbers or the data given in sheet 1, sheet 2, and some arithmetic is performed, and the result we want in sheet 3, just like A1 in sheet 1 and A1 is the same cell value is in sheet 2. If I want to add up these two numbers in sheet 3, then that operation can also be easily done. Now the most important part here is the formula bar. Whenever I write any formula in this particular cell value, that will be displayed here in this particular bar. So here whatever mathematical or statistical function that you enter, it will be displayed here. Even if you enter some data, it will be displayed here also, as well as in the active cell also. Similarly, these are the column headings that we have already talked about. Column headings are A, B, C, D, E, and in general these are the sorting functions. Means the data can be arranged in ascending or descending order, or from A to Z means dictionary order, or from Z to A can be sorted. Further, we have readily available some of the standard toolbars of graphic representation of the data and something like that. And here is a task pane if for the help purpose. Next is identifying worksheet parts. Whatever you type in a cell appears in a formula bar. We have already said here earlier that suppose I write a name Jones in this particular cell, that is A1, then when I type it here, it will also be displayed here in the function toolbar. So this is a formula toolbar, and whatever we write here will also be displayed here. Now whatever we type is actually printed here, but the structure may be different, and here we can have some modification in that we shall study later on. To move from cell to cell across from left to right, you can use tab button also. To move up and down, just use your arrow keys. So for moving from one cell to another cell in either of the direction, or horizontally or vertically, we can use these arrow keys in when we execute worksheet. Now edit and format data. You can change the way information is displayed in a cell by formatting the data. Information can be quickly and easily edited in Excel. So that is the strong feature of Excel, that you can easily formulate, and as per your requirement you can display your information. Not only that, you can center it, means the data is displayed in a middle part, center part of the cell value. It may be right aligned, it can be displayed in a left aligned manner. Similarly, some of the important data can be bold, it can be we can display it by change of font color and size of the font and something like that. So this is our choice, that important data can be highlighted by these features. So that is all about displaying the data in a different fashion. Now change column width. Suppose in column A I have written here different regions. I have a data of Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, and something like that. So when I write this data, here the column width is a fixed column width, but you can see here that Australia and Oceania, these numbers overlaps with B8. South America, it is also overlapping with B7, like that. So actually it is not overlapped, but when you display these things, you can see the boundary is crossover. So when we print it or when we display it, some data is inserted of population of this region in B column, this particular portion will not be displayed on the screen. So how to accommodate this Australia oblique Oceania? So you can change the width of the column by clicking here and dragging it. As per our requirement, we can shift the width of that column as per our requirement. Now insert and delete columns and rows. Suppose I have entered some data in column A, I have entered some data in column B, and later on I require some data to be inserted between these two columns. Then this type of work can be easily handled by inserting extra column or extra row. So how can we do it? You can delete a row or a column to remove data you no longer want in your worksheet. You can also add a row or a column to insert additional data. So this addition or deletion of a row or column can also be easily handled. So how can we do it? To delete a row, highlight the row, means you have to select a particular row which you do not want, and then right clicking on your mouse, and there is an option in that menu, drop down menu, you can select a delete button and the entire row or a column selected will be deleted. A box will ask you if you want to shift the cells or delete the entire row or a column. Choose entire row. So there are certain options available. So from the options you have to choose a proper option as per your requirement of deletion or deletion of row or a column. Now friends, you can see here that this is column number C and D, and here we have entered some data 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 and 3 6 3 3. Okay, this is the data. Now right click on your mouse and click delete. Suppose we want to delete a particular column. So what shall we do? Choose entire column. So when I select these columns from C and D, then I have to press my right click button and the entire column will be selected, and from the menu bar then we have to select a delete button. So column C and D will be automatically removed from the worksheet. Similarly, one can do the same operation for insertion and deletion of columns and row. For inserting columns, there will be times when you will need to insert a column or columns into your worksheet. To insert a column, click on A to select column A. Now choose insert option, and again in columns from the menu, a column is inserted to the right side of the column A. So whenever we insert a column in a particular at a particular address, the insertion will always take place on the right side of that column, and when we insert a row, it will always be inserted above the selected row. Now how to sort a list of data? Suppose we have some data, say some numbers are given in a random fashion, and we want to arrange them in ascending order or descending order. So that can be easily handled in the Microsoft Excel by selecting a proper sorting toolbar. Similarly, suppose I have some 10 different names in my Excel sheet and I want to arrange them